to Level 2. You will remember from Reiki Level 1 that Reiki is different from other healing modalities because practitioners are initiated through an attunement. The Reiki Master uses the power of the Reiki symbols to attune the practitioner to Reiki energy. This has been done since the founder, Mikao Usui, attuned his first student. Although we are all natural healers, Reiki helps us fine-tune these abilities. Another factor that distinguishes Reiki from other healing arts is that although the Reiki energy transmits through the practitioner into the receiver, it does not originate from the practitioner. A Reiki attunement lasts for life. In Level 1, you were taught the 5 principles that Usui adopted into the Reiki system. These principles were to be said morning and night to help you focus on the universal source of light, love, and harmony that is Reiki. If you've been doing the principles morning and evening daily, you may have noticed that they have had a positive effect on you. When said often, they help the mind focus on your life purpose, awakening, gratitude, and compassion. Many people begin to see a pattern. At first, you may react as you always have based on the ego and its conditioning. Yet as you practice the principles, they begin to become a part of your consciousness. Then when something negative happens, you may still react, but afterwards, remember the principles and establish control. As time passes, you will find that as you are reacting, you remember the principles and begin to react less. Over time, you become aware of the pattern and its purpose, and stop the reaction earlier and earlier in the cycle. Finally, you are free of that conditioning and prefer to respond to the situation in calmness. Reiki Level 2 will help you to deepen your understanding of this amazing modality. It is likely that by the time you are studying at this level, your doubt and skepticism regarding the effectiveness of Reiki has fallen away, and you have a deep respect for the results that Reiki can provide on a physical, mental, emotional, and energetic level. If you are feeling called to complete this level, you are ready. Like most things involving energy, learning is experiential. You can effort to try to understand how Reiki energy works, and science is providing much more information to help us intellectually navigate through it. But the best way to understand Reiki energy is by feeling it. Reiki energy is everywhere and in all things. It connects everything and has a consciousness that allows everything to be in a constant state of communication. Morphic resonance is a concept you may find interesting to investigate and involves the notion that inherited memory can be transmitted in ways other than genetics. Rupert Sheldrake has spent considerable time researching this phenomenon. Also, if you're interested in exploring the science behind Reiki, you can explore quantum physics. In his work, Deepak Chopra has also taken a lot of more complex scientific discoveries and translated them into easy-to-understand packets of information. Reiki Level 2 will continue to explore the amazing power of Reiki. This concludes Reiki Level 2, Introduction to Level 2. The second degree will include an attunement to the Reiki symbols and teach you how to use them. These symbols will help you to magnify and focus Reiki energy. The use of these symbols can help to accelerate a session, perform a session from a distance, or on imbalances from the past or future, as well as focus on mental and emotional clearing. As you use the symbols, you will find more applications for them in your sessions in life. With a Level 2 attunement, your body's frequency and psychic perception will be heightened. Similar to the Level 1 attunement, your body will undergo a 21-day cleansing process. If you are receiving all attunements at once, this process will consist of only one 21-day detoxification. This concludes Reiki Level 2, Uses for Reiki Level 2. Reiki Symbols. Symbols have been used for centuries to convey messages, and when used by large groups can hold a specific vibration. Sacred geometry is one example of such symbols. The symbols are another aspect of Reiki that sets it apart from other healing modalities. Although practitioners can effectively utilize Reiki energy without the use of the symbols help to amplify the energy during a session. There are 4 sacred symbols Dr. Mikao Usui taught his students and attuned them to. 3 symbols are taught in level 2, with the 4th symbol being taught to students in the master level. Like being attuned to Reiki, once a student has been attuned to the Reiki symbols, they will be connected at a conscious and subconscious level to those symbols for life. As your understanding of the Reiki symbols deepen through use, you will be able to determine for yourself how you use the symbols in your practice. The Reiki symbols can only be used for good. During the attunement, the Reiki master connects the Reiki student, Reiki energy, and the symbols. From that point on, the student will draw on the intentions of the symbols to channel Reiki energy at an amplified rate. The student needs to be attuned to the symbols in order to connect with their power. Being attuned to the symbols in a combined attunement means that once the student begins using the symbols, they will have that connection already in place. Dr. Usui found the 4 symbols in Sanskrit sutras he was studying. During time spent fasting and meditating, Usui realized that the symbols would help align students to Reiki energy in a more specific way. The symbols can be used when working with others or self. The intention that is held when using the symbols is very important. You may find it helpful to visualize the symbols as live energy. You may see colors when using the symbols, such as white. You can draw the symbols in your mind and see them placed above various parts of the body of the recipient. That concludes Reiki Level 2, Reiki Symbols. The first Reiki symbol, Choku-rei. The first symbol is the Choku-rei, pronounced Cho-ku-rei, and means placing all the power of the universe here. It is the power symbol and considered an amplifier. This symbol is sometimes referred to as the light switch because it powers on and activates the other symbols. Cho, meaning to cut, remove illusion in order to see the truth. Ku, penetrating, like a sword slicing through. And Rei, universal and present everywhere. The Choku-rei symbol cuts through and releases resistance. In Japanese, Choku means imperial command, immediate. The esoteric meaning of the symbol is discreation. Illness and disease are creations constantly recreated. The Choku-rei symbols can help to unravel these progressions. How to draw the Choku-rei. First, you will draw a horizontal line from left to right. Then you will draw a vertical line from top to bottom. And finally, draw 3.5 decreasing circles counterclockwise, finishing on the vertical line as shown. The Choku-rei symbol discreates. This is a symbol that turns on the second degree energy. Without this symbol, the practitioner is still channeling only first degree energy. It can be used alone or as an activator for all the other symbols. Reiki's infinite wisdom will bring about whatever is needed. There are 6 main ways of using the Choku-rei symbol with a recipient. You can mentally beam a white Choku-rei symbol through your hands as you work with a client. You can also visualize a white Choku-rei on the palms of your hands before your session. You can draw the Choku-rei symbol with your tongue on the roof of your mouth and project it onto the back of your hands as you perform your session. You can draw the symbol on your hands with your index finger before you begin your session. Or you can draw the symbol in the air and beam it in the direction of your hands. When using the symbol, you will want to silently intone the words Choku-rei 3 times as you draw it. The symbol will not work without the words silently spoken. If you have a difficult situation, you may find it helpful to write the problem down on a piece of paper and draw the Choku-rei symbol over the top of the writing. Remember to silently intone the words Choku-rei 3 times, and then place the paper in the palm of your hands for a few minutes. Ways that you can use the Choku-rei symbol. As mentioned before, it activates the other symbols. It can also be used for protection, to bring resolution to a situation, to cleanse and bring balance. You can draw it under a stamp, on a letter, place it under a sticker on a gift. Use the symbol on your food, drink, plants, animals. Use it for your career. Draw it on your desk, under the cash register, on documents, letters, the telephone, your diary, computer. The Choku-rei symbol can be beamed on airlines, trains, pilots, drivers. It can be used in your home, drawn invisibly under your doormat, under wallpaper, in cupboards, behind pictures, and in any other way that you can imagine. This concludes Reiki Level 2, Choku-rei. Ki. The second Reiki symbol is the Seihei Ki, pronounced Se, Hei, Ki. This is the emotional and mental symbol used for emotional and mental healing. The Seihei Ki balances the right and left brain. Se means birth, coming into being. Heiki means balance, equilibrium. One translation of this means the earth and sky meet, or God and man become one. The Seihei Ki symbol can be used with the recipient in the same 6 ways shown for the Choku-rei. How to draw the Seihei Ki. Strokes 1, 2, and 3 form a zigzag line from top to bottom. Stroke number 4 is a vertical line that connects the zigzag with stroke number 5, a curved line, again from top to bottom. Stroke number 6 forms the largest curved line, and strokes 7 and 8 form 2 curved lines, as shown from top to bottom. To activate the Seihei Ki symbol, you will first draw the Choku-rei symbol while intoning the words Choku-rei, Choku-rei, Choku-rei 3 times. Then, draw the Seihei Ki on top of the Choku-rei or beside it, and intone the words Seihei Ki 3 times. Finally, draw the Choku-rei on top of the Seihei Ki or beside it, remembering to intone the words Choku-rei 3 more times. This is known as the Reiki sandwich. A Reiki sandwich can be used to release any mental or emotional blockages in a person and allow the healing process to begin. You can visualize the Reiki sandwich beaming out of your third eye chakra and entering the third eye chakra of your client. As you intone the words, add the intention that it will be used by the body-mind of the client if it is for their highest good. Alternatively, you can draw the symbols on your hands and then place them over the client's third eye chakra. This is often helpful when you're working with a person with addictions, an individual wanting weight loss, or to release unwanted habits. You will want to be sure to keep a box of tissues nearby, as this can often cause the client to become weepy and emotional. The Reiki sandwich can be applied with all of the normal hand positions. If you are working with a person who is suffering from an imbalance such as cancer, leukemia, or other immune system disorders, you can visualize thousands of Seihei Ki symbols penetrating every cell in the body of the recipient. When you have an issue you need more clarity on, or you are seeking a solution, write it down on a piece of paper and draw the Reiki sandwich shown on the previous page over it. Your answers will come to you intuitively. Here are some ways you can use the Seiheki symbol. You can use it to release blockages and resistance in the body, to help find resolution to long-standing problems, to address alcohol, drug, and smoking addictions, to help balance anorexia and bulimia, to resolve relationship problems, help calm nervousness, fear, and phobias, help to process anger, sadness, and other emotions, help facilitate the grieving process. The Seiheki can assist in improving memory. It can enhance affirmations, improve intuition and inspiration, and help to create a calm environment. The Seiheki can ease arguments in tense situations. You can use it to balance your home, work, crystals. The Seiheki can improve poor communication. It can provide protection on every level. It can keep you from losing personal belongings. The Seiheki can be used while traveling. It can help you find lost items and help to improve your creativity. This concludes Reiki Level 2, Seiheki. The third Reiki symbol, Anshaza Shonin. The third Reiki symbol, Anshaza Shonin, is also known as the distance healing symbol and is used to transcend time and space. Like all of the other symbols, the Chokurei symbol is used first to activate the Anshaza Shonin. The Anshaza Shonin gives the Reiki practitioner the ability to channel Reiki across space. Reiki can be sent to a person across the room or in another part of the world. The Anshaza Shonin also allows the practitioner to bridge time from the present to the past or future. Reiki can be sent back to heal a childhood problem, or even further still to a past life. Future situations such as operations, interviews, or business meetings can be greatly improved by sending Reiki in advance. Time has no relevance when the Anshaza Shonin symbol is used. When the Anshaza Shonin symbol is drawn, all strokes are drawn from left to right and from top to bottom. Please note that this is one variation of the symbol. If you find other variations that resonate with you, you may use those as well. The intention is key. The first horizontal stroke means the number 1, the beginning. The second vertical stroke crosses over the first and means the number 10, end, completion. The third and fourth strokes, combined with strokes 1 and 2, symbolize a tree in Japanese. Esoterically, it can mean the tree of life, also the tree of transformation, of knowledge, evil, desire, resistance. It can also represent the tree of timelessness. It cannot die because it was never born. The fifth horizontal stroke means the root of the tree, cause, essence, origin. Strokes 1 to 5 combined form the first kanji, on. Kanji means Japanese writing using Chinese characters. Kan, Chinese, ji, character. The sixth horizontal stroke symbolizes land and earth. Stroke 7 is a downward curving line meaning becoming and existence. Stroke 8 is a vertical line drawn downwards from the curved line. Stroke 9 is a horizontal line drawn from the left. Stroke 10 is a vertical line drawn from the end of stroke 9. The strokes 8, 9, and 10 form another kanji, which when translated means the sun. Stroke number 11 is a horizontal line drawn from left to right and seals the sha kanji. Strokes 6 through 11 form the kanji sha, which means a person that creates. This symbol means what was hidden is brought into being. This relates to the miracle of Reiki. When you place your hands on someone, Reiki is revealing little by little what is already there. Stroke number 12 is a horizontal line that connects with strokes 8 and 10. Stroke number 13 is a vertical line. 14, a horizontal line. 15, a vertical line. Strokes 11 to 15 form the next kanji sho, which means right, correct, and justice. Stroke 16 curves downwards to the left, 17 downwards to the right. Strokes 16 and 17 combined form the kanji sei, which means harmony. Acting appropriately, in the correct manner. Remember, Reiki is energy with intelligence. It is always going where needed. Please note that although the kanji sei is drawn after the sho, it is spoken before it. Stroke number 18 is a horizontal line drawn from left to right. Stroke number 19 is drawn horizontally from left to right, parallel to stroke 18. It then curves downwards. Stroke 20 is a horizontal curve, similar to a smile. Stroke 21 curves downwards, similar to the letter C. And finally, stroke number 22 also curves downward in a reverse C shape. Strokes 18 to 22 form the final kanji nen, which means the heart, thought, and in the present moment. Again, please note that this is a variation of the symbol, and the essence of the symbol, the intention, is what is key. You can use the Anshaza Shonen symbol in the same ways described when using the other symbols. It's traditional practice not to allow anyone to observe you drawing the symbols unless they are a second-degree practitioner or a Reiki master. However, in this time and age, everyone has access to the symbols via the internet, so the exclusivity of them is your choice. To activate the Anshaza Shonen symbol, you must first draw the shokurei, intoning the words chokurei, chokurei, chokurei 3 times. You then draw the Anshaza Shonen on top of the shokurei and intone the words Anshaza Shonen 3 times. Finally, you draw the chokurei on top of the Anshaza Shonen, remembering to intone the words chokurei 3 more times. You can also incorporate the Anshaza Shonen into the Reiki sandwich described earlier. This complete sandwich would include the shokurei, the seiheki, the shokurei, Anshaza Shonen, and shokurei again. Examples of the ways that you can use the Anshaza Shonen symbol can include, but are not limited to, working with deep-seated disease and long-term imbalances, transmitting Reiki across distances, working with groups, organizations, cities, countries, preparing for events, balancing past life issues and memories, working with children while they're resting, and addressing imbalances from the past, present, and future. This concludes Reiki Level 2, Anshaza Shonen. The Reiki symbols can help you to focus the Reiki energy, clear emotional and mental imbalances, as well as send Reiki from a distance. There are also many other uses for the symbols. You can draw the chokurei symbol over your food to increase the nutrition and offer thanks. Drawing the seiheki over food can also help with purification and cleansing. If you use the seiheki, draw it first to cleanse, and then use the shokurei to intensify the energy. You can also use the seiheki and shokurei to clear crystals or other objects. You will use the seiheki until you sense the energy is clear, and then use the shokurei to energize the crystal. You can use the chokurei symbol to manifest your desires. You will want to ensure when considering what you want that it is ethical and for the good of all. Use positive affirming statements and phrase them in the present tense. You may wish to visualize you in your ideal life with the chokurei symbol superimposed over that image. You can use the Seiheki symbol to let go of habits and thoughts that are not serving you. Whenever you have a craving, for example, visualize it, and then visualize the Seiheki to release it. You can also use the Seiheki to clear a room by mentally placing it at the corners of a room and windows. Then, once the house is cleared, you can place the Chokurei symbol in the house to enhance peace, love, prosperity, and health. Once a house, car, person, or pet is cleared, you can use the Seiheki symbol for protection. The Reiki Protection Sphere. Practitioners starting out ask about protecting themselves. Over time, you will likely find that you no longer feel the fear and need to protect yourself. But until then, here is a technique you can use. You may also find this technique helpful to protect your car from hail or your house, etc. This technique was developed for those wanting protection and to keep negative energies out. It uses the Reiki symbols and makes a sphere of energy around you. The technique is easy to do and tends to work well. Other uses are to set the sphere and meditate inside of it, or to create the sphere prior to doing sessions. This is not a traditional Reiki technique, but one that can be useful. To set the sphere, connect to Reiki energy. Draw the Chokurei symbol in the 6 directions around your body: north, south, east, west, up, and down. Next, draw a large Daikomyo symbol down the length of your body. You will then draw the Anshazu Shonen symbol above your head to place the sphere in all time and places. Finally, you will draw the Seiheki on your third eye and heart chakras to free you from the fear. You will finish by stating your intent for the sphere, that it protect and remove fear, and then let Reiki flow into the sphere. You can also use the sphere to send loving energy to those who ask for distant healing. Construct the sphere and then meditate in it. Use whatever distance healing technique that you feel comfortable with and send loving energy. This concludes additional uses for Reiki symbols. The 5 Reiki principles, which are taught in Level 1, are based on the 3 pillars of Reiki: Gasho, Reijiho, and Shiryo. Dr. Mikao Usui taught his students the Gasho meditation. The meaning of Gasho is 2 hands coming together. Gasho helps one to hold the intention of gratitude, respect, focus, balance, and maintain a connection to collective consciousness. There are 2 forms of the traditional Gasho: formal and informal. Formal Gasho is used in situations such as rituals and religious service to convey reverence. The hands are brought together in front of the face, fingers straight and pointing up, with the palms pressing together. Elbows are raised, with forearms positioned at approximately 30-degree angles to the floor, with the fingertips at the same height as the top of the nose, but the hands are approximately 4 inches away from the tip of the nose. Eyes are focused on the tips of the middle fingers. Mushin, or no-mind Gasho, is a form of Gasho used mostly in greetings. The hands are held loosely together, with the tips of the fingers and thumbs touching, and a slight space between the palms. The forearms are at a 45-degree angle to the floor. The hands are held out about 4 inches from the front of the tip of the nose, with the hands lower than the formal position, in front of the mouth. The fingertips just below the nose. Again, the eyes are focused on the tips of the middle fingers. Many people also perform Mushin Gasho with their hands positioned in front of their chest, just above their heart. Students would place their hands in the Gasho position every morning and night. Gasho helps to focus and quiet the mind during meditation. This involves placing your hands in prayer position, closing your eyes, and bringing your awareness to the tip of your middle finger. If your mind wanders, gently press your middle fingers together and refocus. If you find this meditation beneficial, it is recommended that you perform it in the morning and evening for 15 to 30 minutes, ideally for 1 month. You may find it useful to make notes of your experiences as you meditate, as well as how your life situation changes over time. You may find that you are more focused and grounded as each day passes. Gasho meditation. In a seated position, on a chair or the floor, place your hands in Mushin Gasho position. Focus on where your two middle fingers meet. Let your thoughts fall away. As more thoughts arise, watch them go and keep your focus on your fingers. Recite the 5 Reiki principles, or your version of them, out loud or in your mind. If you find your arms getting uncomfortable, you can slowly lower your hands to your lap. Watch the sensations you experience and allow those to fall away as well. When you are finished, send the intention of gratitude and end the session. You may find placing your palms on the ground an effective way to end the session and ground yourself. This concludes Reiki Level 2, Gasho. Reiji Ho. In English, Reiji means indication of Reiki power. Ho means methods. Reiji Ho consists of 3 short rituals that can be performed before each Reiki session and can help guide you with regard to your hand placement in a session. Step 1. Hold your hands in front of your chest in the Gasho position with your eyes closed. Once you are attuned to the Reiki symbols, you can use the Ansha Zashonin and ask that Reiki energy flow through you. You will repeat this request 3 times. You will then invoke the Seiheki and Choku-rei to hold the intention. For practitioners not attuned to level 2, they will request that Reiki energy flow through them. Step number 2. Ask for the balancing of the client or recipient. You will raise your hands from Gasho to your third eye and ask to have your hands guided to where Reiki energy is needed. Step number 3. Allow this technique to guide your hands. Detach from any desires you have regarding the outcomes of the session. Be open to receiving messages that will guide you. Your hands will rest when Reiji Ho is complete. You will then perform Gasho 1 more time. Refrain from discussing specific areas or messages with the recipient. This concludes Reiki Level 2, Reiji Ho. In English, Chi-Ryo means treatment. It is performed by the practitioner holding their dominant hand above the client's crown chakra and waiting until there is a signal to move, which the hand then follows. The Reiki practitioner continues to use their intuition with regard to hand placement until they are called to end the session. The body and consciousness are connected by breath. In some esoteric traditions, breath work is used to access different levels of consciousness. We breathe in oxygen for physical survival and universal life force to nourish and cleanse our spirit. Dr. Mikao Usui taught his students a breathing technique called Joshin Kokaiu Ho, which in English means breathing to cleanse the spirit. Joshin Kokaiu Ho. In a seated position, focus on your breath. As you inhale, focus on the air and Reiki energy you are taking in. Visualize Reiki energy coming down through your crown chakra. Pay attention to how your body feels as you fill yourself with Reiki energy, drawing it and your breath below your navel. The Dantian. The Dantian is located in the abdomen between the navel and pubic bone. The Dantian holds a reservoir of energy. By taking time to connect with this energy point, you can increase your vitality and ensure you are a clear channel for Reiki energy. Dantian breathing. Breathe in and out through your nose. Ensure that you are completely emptying your lungs with your exhale. Inhale and bring the breath and energy down to your Dantian. Imagine the energy in your Dantian spreading throughout your body. Once you feel your body full of energy, exhale through your mouth and visualize the energy beaming out of your mouth, hands, and feet. This concludes Reiki Level 2, Chiraiyo, using Reiki from a distance. The three Usui Reiki symbols combined unlock the doors to distance healing. You will want to practice drawing the symbols until you can visualize all three of them without referring to your notes. There are many ways to channel Reiki through the symbols. As you begin to practice and work with the symbols, you will discover which method you prefer. With practice, you will be able to send Reiki whenever and wherever it is required. You will be able to perform a distance healing session no matter what environment or location you find yourself in. You will have the ability through practice to filter out distractions and focus, sending Reiki to the person, place, or event as required. Initially, when you first practice distance Reiki, follow these guidelines below to help you connect and perform the distance session correctly. You will find a quiet place and ensure you have enough time to not be interrupted. You need to focus on the following. Decide which distance method you are going to use to channel Reiki before you begin the session. Ground yourself and connect to Reiki energy. Clear your mind and release any expectations regarding the session. Remember that you are the channel for Reiki, and you will witness Reiki energy, which will do the work, and will be traveling across time and space to connect with the recipient of the session. Once you feel the connection with Reiki, begin transmitting Reiki energy using the method you have decided upon earlier. Remember that all methods are effective, so you will want to try them all so that you can decide on your favorite method to use in the future. Continue the distance session for as long as you intuitively feel it should continue. Reiki will go where it is needed and continue to work even after you have ended the session. The key with distance sessions is intention. Always end the Reiki distance session with a positive vision of the person, place, event, or situation you've been focusing on. You can also imagine a different scenario for sessions with a focus on the past. After the distance healing session, release the outcome to the wisdom and love of Reiki. Trust that Reiki will be a part of the best possible outcome for the recipient. Remember to disconnect yourself from the recipient once the session is over and wash your hands under cold running water. Also, drinking a glass of cold water can help to ground yourself. When you are first practicing distance healing, it is best to follow a routine that you feel comfortable with so that you can be relaxed and focused on the session rather than the mechanics of what you're doing. Just like learning to drive a car, in the beginning it can feel overwhelming to think about all of the things you need to do and remember in order to keep the car safely on the road. Within a short span of time, through repetition and practice, you will permanently encode the mechanics of driving into your subconscious, and then you can enjoy the experience of driving. Likewise, once you've mastered the mechanics of performing a distance healing session, you will be able to relax and focus on the session and not on what is needed next. Eventually, it will all become automatic. As your confidence grows, you can begin to rely more on your intuition to guide you during distance Reiki sessions. Because the recipient is not in front of you when you're performing a distance session, you need to find a way to visualize what is happening during the session. Listed below are a number of methods you can use to help you visualize or represent the recipient in your mind. The surrogate method. When you are setting the intention at the beginning of the distance session, remember that you do not have any control regarding the outcome of the session, nor what is in the best interests of the recipient. You must remove your ego and its desires and allow Reiki, with its infinite wisdom, to do what is needed based on the recipient's best interests, not your perception of what is best for them. This intention keeps the responsibility of healing with Reiki energy to do what is needed and go where it is needed. In some cases, the results of a session may not be as your recipient would like them to be. This can be frustrating, especially if the person you want to receive healing is a family member or a friend. But you must respect that the recipient draws in the Reiki energy that is needed, and Reiki will work in the best interests of the recipient. You can use anything as a surrogate to channel Reiki. The most important thing you must do is at the beginning of the distance session to clearly specify that the surrogate is taking the place of whomever or whatever you're sending Reiki to. A photograph, cushions, teddy bears, pens, crystals, or the details of the person or thing written on a piece of paper are all examples of an effective surrogate. Many practitioners have their favorite surrogate and use it for all of their distance sessions. If you have a soft toy that you cherish, you may wish to use that. A ball can be used as a surrogate to channel Reiki to Mother Earth. You can channel Reiki to your car before each journey by using the steering wheel of the car as a surrogate. When performing Reiki with people, using a surrogate, you may find that you prefer to use a teddy bear, as you are able to work more precisely with the various hand positions and chakras. For example, if a person has an injured right leg, you can spend more time working with the surrogate teddy bear's right leg. Another method is as follows. For example, you want to channel Reiki to your friend who is sick and has asked for a Reiki session and is in another country. First, you will find a photograph of your friend. Then you'll write down her name and the location she is in. Choose a time when you both will be able to relax and won't be disturbed. Place the photo and the piece of paper in your hands. If no one is able to see or hear you, you can set your intention out loud, adding that the photo and piece of paper will be used as a surrogate for your friend. You will then focus your attention on your friend and visualize her lying in her bed or sitting in a chair depending on what you've arranged with her. Holding the photo and piece of paper in your non-dominant hand, draw the complete Reiki sandwich over the top with your dominant hand. Remember to intone the symbols and hold the intention that it be for your friend's highest good. Close your hands together and imagine sending healing light to your friend. Keep your hands closed for at least 5 minutes. As you become more experienced, you will find that you will be able to intuitively work with the different energy levels. Once you've sent the Reiki, take a moment to thank Reiki and any guides who have assisted you in the session. Remember that the recipient is drawing in the Reiki and doing the healing. You are just a channel. They need to be aware and ready to work with you in the healing process. Make sure that they are open to receiving Reiki. Keep in mind that the symbols transcend time and space. You can set the intention that the Reiki energy is channeled for a specific amount of time over a number of days. As long as the recipient takes the time each day to tune into your Reiki signal, they will receive and benefit from the energy. The thigh and knee method. Another method often used for distance healing is the thigh and knee method. You will want to be seated to perform this treatment. You will consider your right knee and thigh the surrogate for the head and front of the body of your client. Your right knee is your client's head, The middle of your right thigh is your client's body, and the remainder of your right thigh is your client's legs and feet. The left knee and thigh will represent the back of your client's head and body. Your left knee is the back of your client's head, your left mid-thigh is your client's back, and the rest of your left thigh represents the back of your client's legs and feet. This session usually takes approximately 15 minutes to complete. Using your left hand for the left knee and thigh and your right hand for the right knee and thigh, you can work with the three positions for approximately 5 minutes each. You can draw or visualize the three Usui symbols with each hand position. Remember to intone the words of each symbol 3 times. You will then complete the session as usual by thanking Reiki energy and sweep the recipient's aura by rubbing your knees and thighs. There are 2 basic ways of using visualization to perform distance healing. The first involves visualizing the person who wishes to receive Reiki. First, you will want to close your eyes and set your intention. Repeat the recipient's name 3 times to focus your mind and establish a connection between yourself and the recipient. Imagine the recipient in a miniature form resting in the palms of your hands. Open your eyes and project the symbols from your third eye onto the recipient resting in the palm of your hands. Alternatively, you can place the recipient in one hand and draw the symbols over them with the other hand. Remember to intone the name of the symbols 3 times and include the intention that it be for the recipient's highest good. Gently cup your hands together. Keep your hands closed for 5 to 10 minutes or until you intuitively feel the session is complete. You can visualize a healing light enveloping the recipient. Close your eyes and transport the recipient back to their location. Say goodbye to the recipient, leaving the healing light with them to continue and complete the healing process. Complete the session by thanking Reiki energy and make sure to wash your hands in cold running water once you are finished. In this example, assume you have a friend with a child who has chickenpox and has asked for a distance session. Close your eyes and visualize being in your friend's home. Have the child lie down on a bed or couch. Set your intention and then project the 3 Usui symbols onto the child while intoning their names. You will conduct a complete session in your mind's eye. Visualize a healing light enveloping the child. Say goodbye, leaving the healing light with the child to continue and complete the healing process. Complete the session by thanking Reiki energy. In your mind, return to your home or office and open your eyes. Remember to wash your hands under cold running water once you're finished. This concludes Reiki Level 2, using Reiki from a distance. Traditional distance Reiki session. Note: whenever you perform distance Reiki, your intuition or imagination is very helpful because you will not receive instant feedback from the recipient during the session as you normally would if the session was in person. Step number 1. Ask for permission to perform a distance Reiki session on the recipient. When you are conducting a Reiki session with someone in person, it is safe to assume that you have their permission to work with them. However, when we perform a distance Reiki session, you need to ensure that whenever possible, they may be seriously ill and unable to talk to you, you have the recipient's or a close family member of the recipient's permission to channel Reiki to them in order to maintain an ethical practice and integrity as a practitioner. The decision of whether to conduct a Reiki session with someone, no matter how much you feel they need one, must remain with the individual. Never force your positive intentions to channel Reiki on someone else against their will. If your offer of Reiki is refused by one person, you can always find someone who does want to receive the Reiki energy. Normally, a person in need of Reiki will contact you for a session. This request for a session, either in person or from a distance, gives you permission to conduct a Reiki session. In some cases, you will receive a request for distance Reiki on another person's behalf. If you aren't sure that you have the person's consent, you can choose to do one of the following. If you've decided never to send Reiki to anyone, unless they request it personally, you can simply refuse to conduct a Reiki session. Note, this is recommended when working with other Reiki practitioners, as they will have no difficulties asking for a session when they need one. Another option is using Reiki, connect with the person and get their consent intuitively. You can do this by meditating and creating a picture in your mind of the person with whom you want to connect. In your mind's eye, ask them the question, do you want to receive long-distance Reiki from me? If you get a clear yes or no, then proceed accordingly. If you receive an urgent or desperate request on another person's behalf, such as please help my father, son, or sister who is suffering from so-and-so disease, you can use the intuitive approach to see if you can proceed. Or in the case that you need to proceed immediately, you can set the intention before you conduct the Reiki session that it be for their highest good. You can also conduct Reiki with a specific intent so that it flows only where it is desired. In other words, you can channel Reiki without explicit approval. But you need to first make sure that it is clear in your mind that if the recipient does not want Reiki, that the energy will go where it is wanted. For example, you might say, I am sending this energy to Jane, but if she does not want or need it, let it go to someone or some event situation that does need it. You may have strong feelings one way or another about getting permission to channel Reiki. Follow what feels right for you, and remember these are only guidelines. All over the world, people pray for one another without necessarily asking if the recipient wants that prayer. Some practitioners use this logic to channel Reiki without getting permission, but most agree that the path of most integrity requires getting permission. If you find that you often want to channel Reiki to those who do not wish to receive it, the person you need to work with is you. The traditional distance Reiki method. This is the basic Reiki distance healing method using a photograph. Remember, these examples serve as a guide. You will want to try many different methods until you find the one that you feel suits you the best. You will confirm that you have the recipient's permission to send distance Reiki. Holding the photo of the recipient in your hands, with the image pointing up, mentally draw the symbols on top of that photo while intoning their names out loud 3 times each to create your virtual Reiki sandwich. You will use Chokurei, Seihai Ki, Ansha Shonen, and Chokurei again. You will say out loud the name of the recipient 3 times as you close your hands gently together to cover the photo. Imagine being in the room with that person so you can see the recipient in your mind, sitting or lying down and ready to begin the session. Visually draw the virtual Reiki sandwich on the body of the recipient, intoning the names of the symbols 3 times. You will conduct a complete Reiki session in your mind exactly as you would in an in-person session. You can accelerate the session so that it takes a few minutes to complete. Remember to pay special attention to any places you are intuitively drawn to on the recipient's body. Once the session is complete, you'll cleanse the recipient's aura. Wash your hands in cold running water and ground yourself. Remember to thank Reiki and your guides for participating in the distance Reiki session. Remember, this is only a guide. You will come across many different Reiki practitioners and masters that will offer variations on every Reiki technique, including distance work. As always, intention is the key to success. There is no right or wrong way to conduct your distance sessions. Interestingly, Dr. Mikao Usui's preferred distance method uses the visualization technique of photographs, if available, to send Reiki to people at a distance, even if the distance is just another room in the same building. This concludes Reiki Level 2, Traditional Distance Reiki Session. Using Reiki with other modalities. Reiki can complement and enhance the effectiveness of almost any other method of healing you may currently be working with or may work with in the future. Reiki energy balances the subtle frequencies of the person's energetic body. Reiki can be combined with any other therapy to achieve deeper and more profound healing. For example, combining Reiki with NLP and hypnosis can help to enhance a session by allowing the recipient to relax deeply and easily with Reiki, so that they are open at an unconscious level to the positive suggestions of change delivered with NLP and hypnosis. Remember, if you are going to combine healing modalities, you must first explain to the recipient what you intend to do during the session and get permission from them to use more than just Reiki. Reiki will go where it is needed and do what is needed to facilitate change and healing on its own, but you can combine it if you feel called to do so. Below are a couple of examples of how you can combine Reiki with other healing modalities, but remember, you are only limited by your imagination. Reiki and focusing. Most people today are aware of the direct connection between the body and mind as it relates to health and well-being. We store feelings and emotions in our bodies. When these feelings and emotions are left to fester, they can lead to unhappiness, sickness, and disease. Instead of listening to the body's early warning signs, such as aches and pains, which are trying desperately to communicate with us, most people will opt instead to take a painkiller to alleviate and suppress the ailment. Issues, emotions, and feelings that need to be dealt with are locked away and left to cause physical and emotional damage. The body-mind is thrown into a state of imbalance. The cure for the pain is in the pain. Through the art of focusing, we can communicate with the body-mind and release the blockages and destructive emotions. Health, well-being, and balance follows. Learning to communicate and understand your body-mind is vitally important in the search for longevity and happiness. Focus for self-healing. Sit or lie down in a comfortable position. Close your eyes. Focus on your breathing. Begin a normal Reiki self-treatment. When you've completed the self-treatment, rest both hands across your chest, covering your heart. Focus your awareness inside. Imagine placing a microscopic version of yourself underneath your hands. Feel how safe and relaxed you feel. Allow the miniature version of yourself to travel all over your body, from the tips of your toes to the top of your head. Notice any aches or pains that have appeared. If nothing appears, look again. You may find an ache or pain on the second or third scan. Focus on the pain and stay with it for a few moments. Say hello to the pain. Thank the part of your body that has come to talk to you today. Notice what color it is. Notice what shape it has. If that part could communicate with you and could say only one word, what would that be? Focus on the word. Ask the word when it first entered your body. You will normally invoke a memory. You may get tearful and emotional. You may want to cry, shout, or scream. Allow it to be released. Continue the conversation with the part of your body until you have resolved the problem, emotion, or issue. Use Reiki to heal the area. If you find it is too difficult to talk and continue the conversation, channel Reiki to the situation so it can heal it for you with its infinite wisdom. Complete the session with an aura sweep. Sometimes you may find that these issues are left over from past lives or childhood. You can use the complete Reiki sandwich to balance and remove the emotional and physical pain. This is an extremely powerful technique. If you find it too difficult to work directly with your various issues, write them down on a piece of paper and channel Reiki to them. As you release the emotional blockages and residue, you will feel a new sense of peace and well-being. Remember to heal yourself first, then your family, then your friends and others. This technique can be adapted and used to treat others as well. Timeline Reiki. This technique is based on a mixture of Reiki and neurolinguistic programming. It allows you to travel into your future and create the life you want for yourself. Sit or lie down in a comfortable position. Close your eyes. Focus on your breathing. Begin a normal Reiki self-treatment. Work from positions 1 through 7. When you have finished working on the heart chakra, rest both hands across your chest, covering your heart. Visualize a small opening appear in your crown chakra. Float upwards through the opening and hover just above your body. Look down and visualize your life timeline. Typically, you will see images relating to past memories and future expectations. Normally, the future projects forward, while the past extends behind you. Whatever is right for you will appear. Float gently above your timeline. Move forward until you reach the end of your timeline. If your timeline has ended before you can see that you have reached an old age or achieved your full potential, project the complete Reiki sandwich onto your timeline. Take hold of your timeline and stretch it out to add longevity, well-being, and a rich, fulfilling future. Look back along your timeline and review your life. See if you're satisfied with how you've led your life. Did you reach your full potential? Did you make a worthwhile contribution to the world? Would you like to change anything about your life? If you find parts of your future timeline you want to change, project the complete Reiki sandwich onto that part. Visualize the infinite wisdom of Reiki dissolving the unwanted part of your future and replacing it with a new, more positive, enriching, and fulfilling part. Look back along your timeline again and feel and visualize a happier, more fulfilling future. Envelop your timeline in the healing, guiding light of Reiki. Look forward at the wise person you will become. Notice the future you has a gift for you. It may be words of wisdom or something that is very important to you on a personal level. Take your gift and give thanks to your future self for this wonderful present. Take a moment to assimilate and appreciate this information. Gently float back along your timeline to the present you, reviewing your new future timeline along the way until you come to a stop above yourself in the present time. Look back to your past. See a younger you who once anticipated the present you. Channel Reiki back with its infinite wisdom. Then look into the future and see the future you who is expecting you. Channel Reiki into the future. Gently float back down through the opening in your crown chakra. Bring your awareness and your gift back down to your heart chakra beneath your hands. Place the gift you received from your future wise self into your heart chakra. Feel, sense, experience the new you. Use this gift wisely. Allow the process of transformation and change to begin. Complete the Reiki session by conducting a Reiki self-treatment. When ready, gently open your eyes. Timeline Reiki can be adapted to be used with other people as well. This concludes Reiki Level 2, using Reiki with other modalities. When a client does not feel Reiki. You just performed an amazing Reiki session on a new client. In your mind's eye, you saw many shifts occur during the treatment and received some clear messages about the shifts that would continue to occur for this individual. After wrapping up the session, you ask your client how they are feeling, and they reply, "Fine, but I didn't feel anything during the session." New practitioners are likely to scream inwardly, their fears as a novice being brought to light, while seasoned practitioners will likely smile a knowing smile. Remember that shift happens, and it does not need to be accompanied by bells, whistles, and flashing lights to occur. Reiki energy can be very powerful and does not need to make its presence known while healing and supporting the receiver on all levels. That being said, in order to assist your client's experience, it's a good idea to prepare them for whatever may or may not occur during a Reiki session. In your intake, which should include a client history form, you may want to say something like, people sometimes notice physical sensations such as feeling tingling or changes in temperature, seeing colors, feeling light or heavy within the body, feeling sleepy or relaxed. Others may not feel any sensations at all, which is completely acceptable. At the end of the session, you can discuss what your client experienced. This is another chance for you to reassure them that the session was effective. You will also want to alert your client to the possibility that they may find it takes their body-mind some time to process the session. Like stirring a pot of minestrone, all of the goodies rise to the surface. When a client returns, you want to review their intake form with them by asking about the situations that brought them in for healing. For example, if the client ranked their relationship with their husband at a 9 on their intake form, you may ask, regarding your relationship with your husband, if a score of 10 is impossible and a score of 0 is perfect, what number would you give your relationship now? In most cases, the client will reply with an improved number. In that case, you can respond with, great, I'm so happy that it's shifted since our last session. You'd given it a 9 last time. Clients usually forget when things improve. They'll say, I completely forgot I had troubles with that. So this reminder is helpful in assuring them that the sessions are effective. A comprehensive intake and outtake ensures the client has clear expectations and an understanding of what the Reiki session can look like. As the practitioner, you need to trust that the session always turns out exactly as it needs to for that client. You need to remember that you are the witness of the Reiki energy and are not directing it or deciding what it heals. You need to understand that you will attract the clients that you can help the most. So if they do not feel shifts during a session, that still means the session has benefited them and is in the interest of their highest good. You also need to make sure your ego is not tricking you into believing that your results need to look a certain way. Remember, you are a powerful practitioner and your work is helping to heal the world. This concludes Reiki Level 2, when a client does not feel Reiki. Conclusion. Congratulations! You've reached the end of Level 2. In this course, you've explored a variety of ways that Reiki can help you enrich your life as well as the lives of others. The possibilities are endless. As an advanced practitioner, you may be considering starting your own Reiki practice. This is a very rewarding career choice. If you feel called to do so, there are resources that you may find helpful as you begin your practice. Visit the student area at www.onlinereikicourse.com, password Reiki Rocks, for additional resources. Regardless of whether you decide to continue your Reiki practice on a personal or professional level, please continue to perform Reiki on yourself each day. Even 10 minutes in the morning and evening will have such a positive difference. When you feel called to do so, you can move on to the master level, where you will learn how to attune others and share this wonderful gift. In love and light, Lisa.